What's up? Welcome back to the Coinbros, your guide through the greatest industry on this little tiny rock spinning through the universe in the simulation that we're all here together in. I'm glad you're here with us. Once again, it is Wednesday, April 22nd, and pretty big day, and we are pumping, man. We are at like, I don't know, 79K. We'll probably touch 80K, maybe a little higher today, hopefully. And it's all based on what we've been talking about. I've been talking about for the past month and a half, 2 months. You know, if you've been watching my videos, bro, I literally hit the nail on the head with this one. And y'all need to like and subscribe. We're gonna give you guys the top 3 stories of the day, and let's just jump right into it. We'll jump right into it. Okay, so basically the big news everyone's talking about and why the market's pumping is the ceasefire, right? So this is from Trump now. This is from Trump Truth Social, and basically what he's saying, and I'll read this to you. This is probably the biggest story, and this is exactly why the market's pumping. And we talked about it yesterday. If we get any type of news that's not negative, we're probably going to rip to 80K. And that's exactly what happened. So it says here, indefinite ceasefire. So the timer stopped, markets can trade fundamentals again. So they're saying that the ceasefire is just, there's no time frame on it. We're gonna put a ceasefire on it. Basically, we're gonna chill out for a bit, and there's no timer, right? So you don't have anything to watch. There's no clock to watch anymore. The timer stopped. No more countdowns, no more ceasefire expires Wednesday. For the first time in 54 days, about 2 months, BTC can trade on what institutions are actually doing, which is a lot of stuff, man. There's a lot going on with institutions buying $1.4 billion a week, accumulating through Schwab, stacking Visa. Instead of Trump might post at midnight where everybody's waiting for the headlines to dictate what they do, the indefinite extension isn't peace, but it's the end of a daily existential crisis. And that alone's worth about 79K right now, I guess. Like, people are so against what's going on in this war for a lot of different reasons. And any type of news that was positive, which I think this is, now let's just hope that it's on both sides, right? This came from Trump. Let's hope that, you know, they've duped us a couple times before with headlines, and we find out that's not what's really happening. But if there is an extended ceasefire and both sides agree on it, very good for the market, and we're seeing it firsthand. So, biggest story of the day. Second story, MicroStrategy absorbed 3x April's miner supply in 1 week. So the supply squeeze is real. Strategies bought 3x what all miners produced in April in 1 week, which is crazy. He bought up 3 times more than Bitcoin was made, or Bitcoin were made, right? So that's pretty massive, right? Whales bought 270K BTC in 30 days. Exchange reserves at 7-year lows. The math is simple. Demand is outpacing the new supply. So it's being bought up at a 3x margin faster than it's being made, right? Which is huge. And every week this continues, the available float shrinks. So there's only so much Bitcoin to go around, and there's only about 1 million left that will ever be produced. And that's in, 40 years, or I don't even know what it is, 20, 40 years or whatever. So there's only like 1 million more Bitcoin that can ever be made, and it's being bought up just like crazy. There's only like 2 million on exchanges. There's really not that big of a supply when you factor in all the crypto or the Bitcoin that's been locked up from years back, and computers been lost forever, and hard drives. So the supply is extremely small, and everybody wants it. Entire countries want it. You know, these huge institutions are buying it up like crazy because they have unlimited money. They just keep borrowing. Get yourself some Bitcoin if you want to get into this industry, even if it's just $100 worth, just to hold on to it and be, part of the game, right? And if you can work yourself up to 0.1, in a great world, you work up to a full Bitcoin, man, that could be life-changing, right? And yep, there's just not enough coins to sell. That's a squeeze. So that's the story number 2. Every week we talk about MicroStrategies. They have over 4% of the supply. They are the big dogs right now in the crypto game, and they've been really smart about it for the past 6-7 years. A lot of people are just laughing at them, and they're all wishing they jumped on board now. And that's kind of the story of crypto, right? It's always people look at you, they laugh at you, they question you, and then they're asking you how to get into it. And that's just the way it works. So that's story number 2. Now, story number 3, Warsh confirms a hearing today, the next Fed chair first words on crypto. So we're going to get our first words on crypto this year. And there's a guy named Powell who is probably the most hated person in crypto on the crypto side because of the kind of nonsense they would do with the Fed. He's out of office. So we're getting a new guy in. And Warsh gets questioned today. The next Fed chair, his first public words on rates, inflation, and crypto. Powell is done in 23 days. So he's out in 23 days. He's basically gone already. Whatever Warsh says today becomes the market's new baseline for 2026 to 2028 monetary policy. One dovish sentence and Bitcoin test 80K by Friday. One hawkish sentence and we go back down to 76. So listen carefully. So we're like, this is another thing we're waiting for, right? These are all big developments in the industry. And depending on what Warsh says, hopefully it's positive, right? I think the world's moving into a direction where crypto is accepted. People understand that this ain't going anywhere. Entire countries are adopting it. To say anything negative about it on the Fed side, it would just be so stupid. It would be like, if you're not going to lean into where we're headed with this, it's going to be more of the same, right? Of what everybody's kind of hated with the last guy, right? So I have to imagine that it's, it might not be the greatest news or anything in the world, but I have to imagine that they're bringing someone new in. Powell's gone. It would just blow my mind if it was more of the same. I feel like we're going to go in a better direction. And that, that could be wishful thinking, but we will see. And that's another thing to look for, right? If we got some decent news today on the war, now let's get some better news here with the Fed. And if that happens, I mean, who knows? We might rip up to 81, 82, 83. And like story number 2, man, that squeeze is real, man. People are buying up any Bitcoin they can. And it ain't going to slow down. And the beauty of Bitcoin is it's finite, right? You can never make more. You can't just print up a bunch of, Bitcoin like they do with the dollar. And it's becoming more and more in demand. So it's very simple math, right? Not a big supply is shrinking, more people want it. Price go up. That's how it works. So anyway, guys, be nice to each other. That's the news of the day. Pretty positive day today. Make sure you like, subscribe. We're here every single day to give you the top 3 stories of the day. I'll catch you all tomorrow. Peace.